It's almost over at least. Hold on, hold on, everyone. I saw that. I understand now. You essentially have a network of gates leading to parallel worlds, not unlike the Hisago plan. That's right, Lieutenant Commander. Ah, you don't need to address me by rank. We may both be in the military, but we're in very different ones. Not to mention you've been in service longer. Actually, yeah, this Amro's been in service from UC 79 to 93, so this one's been in service for 14 years. Old man Amro. The regulations would dictate. I'm not concerned with that. I assure you no one else here is either. Just take me, for example. I'm only a lieutenant, but I talk to the captain just like she's anyone else. Alrighty then. According to the intel you provided us, you were on board the first Nadesco-class ship alongside Akito and Eureka, weren't you? Yes. After the Lizard War was over, Akito and Eureka took me in and we lived together, almost as if we were family. Unfortunately, all those stupid events were through a Sega Saturn game. They were not explained through an actual story, through an actual OVA or anything. And that's what I personally believe was one of the main reasons that Desco just died. Because all the extra stuff, you had to read through extra things like a Sega Saturn game that led to the movie. So yeah, I understand this may be difficult to answer then, but do you know why Yuriko is in that state? Put it as simply as possible. I believe the Martian successors did so in order for them to gain control over boson jumping, using her as a means to navigate the person making the jump by transmitting an image of the destination to the ruins. Why does she look like that? I suspect she was organically combined with the calculation unit in order to increase the image transfer rate, and Akito knew about it the whole time. He was planning to rescue his wife all on his own. Actually, we noticed an unidentified ship making a jump near Amaterasu. It's possible that ship is working with Akito. I see. And what can you tell us about these Martian successors? At the same time as the attack on Amaterasu, the group's leader, Vice Admiral Haruki Kusakabe, issued a declaration. He was the leader of the Jovians, a nation founded by a group who were once an independent faction on the moon that fled to Jupiter. After the war, he went to battle personally against an anti-Kusakabe faction led by young officers staging a coup d'etat and was reported missing in action. He had many followers who are associated with the Hisago plan in some fashion, whether through the military or the government. So now they have the computing unit. We face an uprising that far surpasses Beacon Bartons. Hmm. The reason we came to this world this time was merely to bring Keto and the others back to it. We'll have to be returning to the boundary space. However, if something were to happen that would require our aid, we will provide it. Understood. The preventers have requested that we transfer Hiro and Duo both over to you. Right. Well then, I'm sorry, but there's one more thing I'd like to ask of you. What is it? If you learn any new details regarding the Aldnoa or the ancient Martian civilization which left them behind, will you please inform us? We may be from different worlds, but I'm curious about the fact that we share a similar point with ruins left by an ancient civilization on Mars's polar caps. Understood. And lastly, thank you not only for looking after Akito, but also for returning him to our world. He's helped us on a number of occasions as well. Now then, until next time. Yeah, he actually did help him out, like, with that angel, when him and Hito redirected his attack through the gate. So what do we do now? We return to Earth. Say what? Why aren't we going after the guys that took Eureka? It would be pointless to attempt to track down the Martian successors without any leads. Rui, you... This is harder on our captain. This is harder on our captain than anyone. Even now, she keeps a picture of those two at the captain's chair. Hmm. We got a whole medley of people we can rely on now. So let's do what we can to prepare for what comes next, alright? Yeah, alright. Now we're officially back at the boundary space. Lana Bell's forces will be traveling back to Izu Base to get what we need for God's castle. Which means that until we return, those chances will be left to deal with any problems that arise in the other worlds. And I believe we should make preparations to head over to a world we haven't been to before, namely yours. Can we even open a gate to our world? I still have not been able to observe your world, but with Dito's assistance, I believe it will be possible. So it's not a def so it's not a definite thing then. I'll tell Sakimi and the others about it, but for now, I think it's best that we put going to our world on hold for now. You alright with that? Well, I do want to go back home, sure, but we still have a lot of other things to take care of elsewhere. Mind if you cut in? Hallelujah wanted to speak to Bright about something. What is it? I'm worried about my comrades. It's been a long time since that incident, and I want to find out what happened to the missing members of Celestial Being. I'm curious about what happened to Colin and her friends too. Yeah, season, what's called season 1 ended after all. We haven't seen the Archangel in a while either, and it's been even longer for Banjo and his group. Haza, have you noticed anything going on in their worlds? No, not yet. But I'm sure as you're all aware, I cannot observe everything. There could be any number of things that I've overlooked or cannot foresee. Then we'll start by having Oceanus head to Alleluia's world. Lieutenant Colonel Katsuraki, I'll let you handle assigning the new team members. Yes, sir. Is there any particular point you would like the gate to lead to, Alleluia? If there's anywhere we'd likely have a shot of meeting up with Tierra and Setsuna, it'd be somewhere near a place of conflict. But we should avoid the North and South American continents, as well as East Asia. Limit it to Northern Europe, and give us some time before we go. Understood. Tierra, Setsuna, I hope you're alright. And you too, Mary. We're at the Oceanus. So in the world we're going to, these Britannia guys are the big, tough, showy-offy punks? Yeah? The way you put it, they sound like a gang of hoodlums. Well, they do act a lot like hoodlums. They flaunt their strength and oppress the weak. They promote survival of the fittest in a world where the UN doesn't fulfill its duty properly. Despite taking a unified stance against celestial being, in practice, they're not much better than a band of outlaws. But even the opposed forces, the Human Reform League and AU Utopia United Republic of Europia, are much better by comparison. Yeah, I don't really get any of that. But as an immortal dark hero, it's my job to make sure they don't get away with it. Immortal dark hero. He he's just he's at the age he's into that kind of thing, I guess. But it's not that I don't get it. I happened across some pretty neat stuff when I was going through the data on Hiro's world. There's this robot anime called Ganger 3, and the story is out of this world. Literally in this case, but the Jovian Federation treated this thing like a Bible. They treat an anime like religious text. Anime is what they call TV manga in show's world, right? Well, yeah. No one really calls it that anymore, though. So how did that anime end up being sacred for them? Apparently when the Jovian Federation left Mars, they took a few forms of media with them, so more or less it ended up becoming a national anime for them. So it's like Voltus 5 for I think the Philippines? Regardless. So they take this thing pretty seriously. Yeah, sounds like something out of a sci-fi flick, doesn't it? Well, I want to check out this Geki Ganger thing myself. You got any copies? Hopefully we do. Hopefully. But no one Kyo, he probably stole some. No, sorry. I just stumbled. Never mind, Kyo's an idiot. No, sorry. I just stumbled across it. But next time I go to that world, I'll start getting my hands on it. Cool. Looking forward to it. You guys, the gate will be opening soon. Hurry and get in your machines. Got it. Let's go, Cham. Yeah! Castle Weisful, the command room. In the end, all of our proposals were rejected, and the replacement troops are all inexperienced. Do the top brass expect us to retake St. Petersburg with just this? We're in the middle of an operation, Lieutenant Colonel. Keep your complaints to yourself. Apologies, but let's just go ahead and consider that my own personal advice. We need to seriously reconsider our operation plan. We went through great pains to establish the wZero squadron, and we surely don't want to repeat of last time. I'll take your opinion into consideration. Lieutenant Colonel Warwick is right, but there's only so much my authority allows. Lieutenant Hugo proposed we establish a small group of elite units, but to do that we'll need our own personal force, not regular troops. Lieutenant Hugo's advance parties encountered the enemy. They're engaging. What are the enemy's numbers? 16 nightmares! That's much too many. We're supposed to be a divisionary force. Order, Lieutenant. Order Lieutenant Hyuga to use stall tactics. Have his units withdraw. It won't work. His unit is surrounded. What? Where did they get all these troops? Message from the Southern Field Army. They're abandoning the front line and withdrawing. So they circled around us. They had a much larger force than we did, and yet they're the ones to retreat? Oh boy. Attention, Nightmare Squadron. Survival is your highest priority. I authorize your withdrawal. Huh. You really think Akito's gonna escape? Lieutenant Hyuga. Nah, he's not gonna escape. He's Akito. Nah. Main protagonist power. The Ghost of Hannibal. So this is probably the first part of the anime where... Yeah, this is probably the first episode of the anime where Akito slaughters an entire group. The operation is a failure. Now all now we're all that's left. Dang. Never mind. An ambush. Even if I retreat, those come after me. I've got to reduce their numbers as much as I can. So this guy killed 3 enemies? No boy. Yeah, wanted to use a spirit command. Let's see some things about this thing. The Alexander is one of the coolest looking things. Nightmare frames. Too bad they never really revisited the design style of it. But I guess in series, it's European developed in a sense. So it makes sense since in R2, the movies and everything, Europe doesn't really do anything like that. It doesn't really concern itself with much of the events. Which makes sense since Britannia kind of, takes over and stuff. All I really gotta do is just... So if I attack one like this, the rest should be able to die now. Dang, this thing's powerful. Alright, that's 1, 2, so the next one should be 3. Alright, so that's 3. This one's doing well. That ends now. Oh boy. Lieutenant Hyuga. Say goodbye, Ghost of Hannibal. The Geass. Die. What? This is just like before. Ugh. Die. Fire! Fire! Please escape, Lieutenant Hyuga. Die. Lieutenant Hyuga? You don't want to stay in serious damage. Pilot's consciousness is fading. He sure gave us a hard time. Lieutenant Hyuga! What the? Thank God for reinforcements. We're here to save you, Akito. Oh boy. An airship of unknown affiliation. HQ, do a data check. Confirm the situation. Transmission protocol confirmed. This is definitely Alleluia's world. Present location is St. Petersburg. It appears that Britannia is engaged in battle against AU Utopia forces. It's a ship that fought alongside the Black Knights in Area 11. All units, that ship is our enemy. Open fire. They determined that we're an enemy then. Withdraw from the area at full speed. The campaign Altair and the Valve Raids 2 and 5 have all launched. They weren't given orders to do that. What are you doing, Kyo? One of them's still alive down there. We can't just abandon him. If we can save someone's life, then that's what we're going to do. That's just how heroes roll. Hey, can you hear me? We're to save you. Can you move? No response. Damn it, we gotta get out there. Commander, what do you do about Kyo and them? We have no choice but to return fire now. We'll murder you all. So my guess is the Alexander is probably incapacitated. It can't move. So they're gonna ignore it. The good thing is they're just attacking like crazy. Yeah, I ain't even worrying about it because all we gotta do is just murder. Dang, they are not surviving. And the problem is, well, it's the AI itself. Like, it's not taking advantage of its attack range unless it needs to. Unless its movement range limits it, it doesn't respond to its own attack range, which I'm not really angry about. It's good for me since I'm just doing this just to enjoy the story. Dang, double? Dang. All enemy units in the area have been eliminated. Now we've ended up involving ourselves. But this will be as far as we take it. We'll withdraw from this area. Is that acceptable to you, Hallelujah? Yes. Hey, hang on. We can't just leave that nightmare behind. It can't even move. Leaving this area is our top priority. Not for a hero, it ain't. We might be able to get some worthwhile information on the pilot, you know. Doing so may have us wind up in a fight we could have otherwise avoided. Yeah, I get that, but we can at least get him somewhere he can be safe, right? What happened? Why am I still? Lieutenant Yuga, do you read me? I'm sending a request for aid from that floating leader battleship. Please make contact with them. Hmm? Oh boy. Huh. So I guess we'll have to continue from that plot point later. Um, as it's gonna show. Wow. Super robots, the Bilbine and the Alexander Liberte. Ironically, chapter 2 started with this, and now we go straight into this. I like it. But yeah, that'll be all for now for this little short part, because, yeah, we'll continue on part 7 and just get through this. So thank you all for watching. Until the next part, goodbye.